Today we will discuss about the foot and mouth disease in small ruminants, especially sheep and goat. Straight away going towards the etiology. It is aphthous virus, single-stranded RNA virus. It is non-enveloped virus and size is about 22 to 30 micrometer. The different strains are there: O, A, C, SAT1, SAT2, SAT3, and ASIA1. The strain mutations are major issue for the vaccine failures. There is no cross immunity amongst the various strains. The antibodies produced against O will not protect antibodies against A, C, and other things. So that's why the cross immunity is not there for the any strain amongst the strains. This virus having tropism to the epithelial cells, all type of epithelial cells. Then all cloven-footed animals are infected by this FMD virus. It is highly economic important diseases for the sheep, goat. It causes the heavy mortality, especially in the newborn lamb and kids, as well as in the adult sheep and goats. That causes extensive economic losses of the farmers. Disease occurrence is quite very high in the Indian territory. The various strains of the viruses, they can be observed in the India and around countries. This virus can be inactivated at pH 6 to 9, inactivated by sodium hydroxide, 2%, potassium peroxymethyl sulfate, 1%, sodium chloride, 1%. Transmission, it is airborne infection. It may be get transmitted through feed and water, clothing of the keepers, weekly sheep and goat bazaars and marketplaces is the source of infection to the other animals. Overcrowding enhance the spread of the virus. Cool environment favors the transmission of virus. Milk of doe will lead to the infection to the neonatal kids and lambs. Intrauterine infection is highly possible, and that may lead to the mortality in newborn kids, maybe around the 2 to 3 days of their life. Predisposing factors: stress due to the transportation, grazing, environmental stress, release of cortisols that will cause the immunosuppression and loss of surface antibodies from the surface of the upper respiratory tract, then the upper digestive tract, then excessive ammonia in the farm also predispose the infection. Overcrowding, poor ventilation, new arrivals, then free-range pig around the farms, and common water places for the and pasture lands for the sheep and goats. So all these factors will lead to the more prone to the FMD infection in the sheep and goats. Pathogenesis: first, there is entry of virus. Then virus will multiply in the upper respiratory tract and nasopharynx. It will reaches to the local lymph nodes. From the local lymph nodes, it will reaches to the blood. After viremia, organisms will get settled into the various parts of body, especially where the epithelial cells are there, especially epithelial cells of digestive tract, skin, glands, then multiply in that particular epithelial cells, maybe in the skin, maybe in the gland, maybe in the oral mucosa, mammary gland, everywhere the virus start multiplying. Then after multiplying over there, it will causes destruction of epithelial cells and causes the hydropic degeneration of the epithelial cells. That may lead to the formation of blisters and vesicle formation will be occur. Then there is a rupture of vesicles by the movements of the tongue, maybe the movements of legs. Then the ruminal waves will lead to the rupture of vesicles. Then secondary bacterial infection to that particular ruptured part of the mucosa. It get infected by the secondary bacterial complications, and there is a formation of pus formation, abscess formation, necrosis. Many times there is a sloughing and erosions can be observed in the oral cavity or throughout the digestive tract. It can be observed. Then bleeding and severe pains in the oral cavity, coronate and rumen. Death is occurred due to the septicemia, toxemia due to the secondary bacterial complications, and sudden death without showing any symptoms in case of the per acute cases, especially in the young and growing animals, newborn kids and lambs. Affection of glands like pancreas, pituitary glands, mammary glands may lead to the different types of pathology that includes the maybe the hyperthermia, hypothermia, hormonal imbalance. Then the glucose metabolism get affected and the mastitis will be observed. Another features of the pathogenesis can be observed because of the damage to the respiratory, damage to the epithelial cells, that is the respiratory distress, panting, hyperpnea, hyperthermia, mastitis, disturbances in glucose metabolism, affections by the various endocrine glands and exocrine glands. Recovered animals can shed the virus through saliva, breath, excretion and secretions up to period of 2 years. So these animals will remain carrier for a longer period. Clinical signs includes the young animals and growing animals, kids, lambs may show the sudden death without showing any symptoms. Adult animals, high fever, salivation, difficult in mastication, swelling of oral mucosa and lips, erosions, blisters on the mucosa of the mouth cavity, tongue, respiratory, then the respiratory distress is there, and tympani is observed in the small ruminants many times because of there is a rupture of blisters and ulcerations in the rumen that may lead to the tympani. In most of the cases, that may lead to the colic, less rumination, constipation, and impaction. Lameness without blister formation is a consistent finding for the FMD in case of sheep and goat. Blisters cannot be seen on the coronate, but lameness is a prominent sign throughout the world for the sheep and goat. Then melena in some of the cases because of the rupture of vesicles from the rumen or sometimes in abomasum. Abortion in some of the cases. Then mastitis is observed and bad odor to the mouth cavity. These are the clinical signs can be observed in the FMD cases. There is a variety of salivation can be observed. The initial phase of the FMD infection may lead to the white, watery, frothy saliva, early blister phase we can say. Then followed by with excessive thick mucus and blood. That can be observed because of the rupture of vesicles due to the movement of tongue, mastication movements that lead to the rupture of vesicles and bleeding is observed. Blood plus froth plus fibrinous plaques will be observed in the early secondary bacterial complications. Then thick froth plus bad odor followed by yellow scanty saliva that can be observed in the abscess phases. So that is the salivation type or the type of saliva can be changed according to the length of the infection. Then postmortem examination, vesicles and rupture vesicles in the oral cavity, on tongue, soft palate, hard palate, then pharynx, esophagus, then rupture vesicles on ruminal grooves, then the tigroid heart can be seen in the young animals, and secondary pneumonia can be observed during the postmortem examination. Here we can see ruptured vesicle on palate. So at the middle of palate, you can see the ruptured vesicles on the dorsum of tongue as well as the lateral aspect of the tongue. Here you can see the ruptured vesicles. Lateral aspect of the tongue will show the vesicle formations over here. Then different tongues are here. They are showing the variety of the blister formation and rupture vesicles. Middle portion, central portion of the tongue, the lateral portion, in the throughout the tongue portion, we can see the rupture vesicles. Again, the similar type of vesicles can be observed on the tongue, then the oral mucosa. Rupture vesicle on the ruminal groove. Here you can see vesicles get rupture. Here again, deep ulceration and hemorrhages are observed on the ruminal groove. Here you can see the ruptured vesicles that may lead to the tympani as well as the melena sometimes, and the colic. It is because of the this type of lesions in the rumen. Here you can see the tongue lesions as well as the ruminal lesions together. Sometimes ruminal wall also showing the similar type of reaction. The rupture vesicles are over here and that leaves small hemorrhages over there. Ruminal grooves will have this type of ulcerations and the rupture vesicles. Then at the bottom of the abomasum, sometimes we are getting this type of blister formations and ruptured vesicles in the abomasal mucosa. Then this is typical appearance of the tigroid heart appearance. Heart in case of the lambs below 10 days or 12 days. Here again, the initial phase of the tigroid heart appearance. For isolation of virus, glycerin phosphate buffer medium can be used for the collection of material. In that material, we have to collect vesicles, vesicular fluid, esophageal washing, then cervical or inguinal lymph nodes. From that, we can collect the material, and that has to be dispatched to the virological laboratory for the isolation of the virus. And for immunosurveillance or immunological test, we can collect the blood sample and convert it into the serum, or we have to separate the serum and send it to laboratory for the immunosurveillance confirmation. Diagnosis is based on clinical signs, symptoms, postmortem lesions, and laboratory diagnosis is based on the polymerase chain reaction, ELISA, laboratory animal inoculation, agar-gel immunodiffusion test, viral neutralization test, and complement fixation test. So these are the simple tests can be applied for the diagnosis of the FMD virus. Then treatment, as we know, this is virus, there is no specific treatment, but we have to give some symptomatic treatment that includes the, we have to increase the vitamin E and selenium, then zinc for the early recovery from the blisters and the injuries. Then we have to offer a soft type of feed to the sheep and goats. Then we have to think of the instant energy feed, which will be more palatable to the animals, and it could be soft. So it will not affect much to the oral mucosa or esophagus or rumen. So it will give some soothing effect. So in that case, we have to think of the soft feed, instant energy feed. Then antibiotic to be given for the control of the secondary bacterial infections. Then hemostatic agents to be given because the blisters get rupture, and to avoid the bleeding from the ruptured vesicles from the rumen, then the abomasum, we have to give hemostatic agents to stop the internal bleeding. Then H2 blockers also to be given to prevent the aggravation of the internal injury, especially in the rumen and abomasum. H2 blockers will prevent the little bit acid, and that may help for the early healing of the ulceration in the rumen and the abomasum. This is a homemade treatment for the sheep and goat in case of FMD. Little bit haldi, 1 part fresh homemade butter, 2 parts leaves of anota, 1 part leaves of pigeon peas or the tuor, 1 part. Leaves should be washed carefully. The paste of that all leaves, including haldi and the butter, paste will be prepared, or paste has to be prepared and apply on the mouth cavity for the better healing and antiseptic, as well as it will be the energy source because of the presence of butter in that particular paste. Then soft energy food like the soft coconut with water, jaggery, fresh butter and haldi. It also be used for the better energy source to the animals. So it will give energy plus soothing effect. And the tuor and anota leaves are having the vitamin C in excess. The pigeon peas will have the astringent activity, so it will make a one layer over the blister, ruptured blister, and that will help for the early healing in case of the oral lesions as well as the esophageal lesion and the ruminal lesions. So astringent effect, vitamin C will enhance the healing effect. So collectively it will act as a little bit antiseptic, energy boosters, or the will have little bit energy to the animal. Along with that, if we use the soft coconut, water plus jaggery and fresh butter and haldi, that will also helpful for the farmers to give some little bit remedy for the treatment of the FMD. Then prevention, vaccination is the main target to prevent the FMD infection in the sheep and goat. Criteria should be followed: liver tonic followed by deworming, again liver tonic, then vaccination. So without that, the vaccine will not be work very accurately, and dewormer is also not working accurately. If the deworming is not done properly, then the immunity will not be boosted as much we can, or as much we want. Then there is availability of trivalent vaccine, quadrivalent vaccine. Then immunosurveillance can be done after the giving vaccination. That will help for we people at what time we can repeat the vaccine, maybe twice in a year. Accordingly, we can go for the immunosurveillance. Serum antibody titers can be identified by the regular checking of the serum antibody titers. Repeat as per our needs. So this is the prevention strategy for the FMD. Thank you so much, and be in touch with this 8600891946 only on the WhatsApp, or email the vetdap@gmail.com. Thank you very much.